my story, go ahead and grab your foam rollers, some different size balls, tennis balls, golf balls, lacrosse balls, whatever you would like to use today. We also need some cream or oil. I'm using coconut oil. It's my favorite. I like it. You're gonna need a spoon. Don't tell your mom. It's okay. And then I'm going to be using this little tool. It's one of my massage tools. It's about the size of a tube of mascara, so you might need that. Also, a rolling pin if you do not have a actual like fitness roller pin. And we're gonna go ahead and get started here in a couple minutes. If you do not know me, I am Lacey. I am a 200-hour RYT as well as an Oregon licensed massage therapist. We are going to work lower body today as well as back. Yeah. Are we ready to get started? It's 2 o'clock. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so we're gonna start on our hips, so go ahead and grab your foam roller. If you don't have a foam roller, you can use any sturdy ball. My choice is this foam roller. I also have this foam roller. I just like this one. It has little indents on it. We're gonna start in our hips. So bending one leg, placing the roller on the other side, right underneath our glutes. So we're gonna be about right there. And the first glute muscle that we're going to massage out is our gluteus maximus, which lays, if here's our back, it lays like this. So pressing yourself up, make sure your fingers are pointing forward, palms flat on the ground. Place your opposite foot on the ground, rolling in towards your sacrum and then out towards your outer part of your hip. So I see you guys are sending me a bunch of comments on my live stream here on Instagram. My eyes are like really bad. I cannot see that. So if you send me a message, I can respond to you that way after the video is over. I'm going to be saving this on the live feed. So we're going to bend the right knee, or the knee that you're working on, bring it up towards your chest and roll onto the roller just a little bit more. We're moving slowly to keep control. Go ahead and extend the leg back out. Plant the hands. Twist the roller the opposite direction. We're going to come up onto the side of our glute and roll forward and back. Make sure your core is engaged here. You want to always protect the spine, stabilizing the low back. If you find a sore spot, go ahead and rest on it, pressing your energy down into your roller. Go ahead and fan your foot in and out. Rolling a little bit more onto your leg, fanning your foot in and out. Foot steady, plant the foot, release the roller from that leg. We're switching sides, planting the roller this way. Yeah, we started this way. Bend the opposite knee, plant the foot, plant both hands, raise up, place the roller next to your sacrum, rolling side to side. Nice and slow, keep control. Remember to breathe. Go ahead and bend the leg that you're working on. Bring it to the side. Hi everybody. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm also recording on Instagram Live. That's why I'm saying hi a lot. Go ahead and extend the leg, placing it down. Engage core, lift up. Turn your roller back down. We're going to come onto our side of our glute, more into the gluteus medius portion. And we're going to go forward and back. Holding your leg straight, fanning your foot in and out. If you're not feeling that up in your hip, roll slightly closer to your leg and fan in and out. And go ahead and lift up, release the roller. Legs straight out in front of you. Plant down onto your sits bones, flex your feet, inhale up. Forward fold. Making sure we're breathing. And go ahead and release. Grabbing either your tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. You can use a baseball as well. We're going to start with the hip we started on. I started on my right side. We're going to place the ball right here, right at our point of our gluteus medius, meeting our gluteus maximus. Place the ball down. Place all 3 points, both hands, opposite leg on the ground. Lift up and gently roll onto the ball, pressing the weight of your right leg or your left leg, whichever side you're on, into the ball. So this might be uncomfortable. It's okay, just breathe. Go ahead and bend your knee and straighten it back out. This should not be very comfortable. Just breathe. What we are doing here is we're releasing where the head of the femur meets the hip bone. Releasing the tension, stored trauma, whatever you're holding on to right there. Keep your core engaged to relieve pressure on your hands. Let's do this for 5 more times. Once you're done, pressing the weight back over onto the left side, we're going to take the ball, we're going to place it closer to the leg. We're going to place the ball right here, right where our gluteus medius and gluteus maximus meet our hamstrings. Placing the ball right there, straightening out the right leg, planting the hands facing forward, plant the left foot, roll onto the ball, You might have to pivot your right foot out about 45 degrees, and I have to lift up my left arm onto my knee to get my weight pressuring down over the ball. If it feels comfortable for you, engaging your core, keeping it nice and tight, stabilize your back, rolling side to side on the ball, nice and slow with control. Okay, rolling medially with the ball so that's closer to your sacrum center line. You should feel a divot as you roll from where you just were in. Hold on to that divot, bend your knee slightly, and hold. Rocking forward and back on the ball. These are very, very small movements. My body is going forward and back. Weight back into the left leg, left hip, releasing the ball. We are going to draw the right foot up onto the left quad. I am covered in cat hair. We're going to bend the left leg, placing the ball underneath the right glute. Hands plant facing forward. Press the left foot in, rocking the right knee down towards the ground and the weight back up and over. If this is too intense, releasing the right leg in a bend on the ground. That will relieve pressure on your gluteus medius. Making sure we breathe. Rolling slightly inward and out. Right over the head of the glute muscles. Now, if you're like me, my face expresses all of what I'm feeling, so this is very sore for me too. Go ahead and plant the left hand back if your left hand was up, releasing the right foot and taking the ball out. We're going to extend the right foot and the left leg, rock from side to side, see how different your right hip feels from your left hip. Okay? Taking the ball over onto the left side, we are placing it right where the gluteus medius and the gluteus maximus meet, right about here. Planting the hands, planting the right foot, extending out the left leg, rolling onto the ball. How are we doing, everybody? Making sure we're breathing. Let's roll forward and back on a lacrosse ball. Making sure we're pressing into the ball wherever we feel uncomfortable or a little bit of pain. A little bit of pain is good. A lot of pain is not good. We want to stay in the discomfort area where our bodies are going to be healing. Pressing back into the right hip, moving our ball slightly outward to where our gluteus medius and our hamstrings, a little bit down, meet. Pressing back onto our hands and to the right foot. Rolling side to side on the lacrosse ball or the tennis ball. Holding wherever it is uncomfortable, making sure we're breathing. Rolling to the medial side of our hamstrings, where the indent is, drawing our knee up towards our chest and lowering it back down, nice and slow. Three more times here, continuing to breathe. Pressing back onto the right hip, taking our lacrosse ball out. We're going to place it underneath our gluteus medius again. Plant our hands, bending our left knee. We're going to pivot, left toes in and out. Now, if you're like me, you might have to press your weight more directly over the ball. And releasing back to the right hip. We're going to draw our left leg up in onto the right hip crease or onto the right quad. Drawing the right knee up, rolling over, placing the ball between our gluteus maximus and our gluteus medius. Planting the hands down, plant the right foot, rolling up onto the ball, and dropping our left knee lower to the ground. If this is too much, you can always lower your left leg to the ground. Making sure we're breathing here. Lowering back onto the right hip. Remove the ball. Releasing the left leg. Drawing our plantar sides of our feet together, or the bottom of our feet. We're going to press our knees out and lean forward with a straight spine. You should feel much more open within your hips. Drawing our feet out in front of us, we're going to take our massage pen or a roller pin, whichever you have available for you today. Right leg tucks underneath left. Left toes press medial, so pressing to the right. We're going to take our roller pin, add pressure down, and slowly roll our quadricep towards our knee. Once we're at our knee, lift up. Draw it a little bit more medially, so a little bit up onto the top of the leg more. Add pressure and roll down our quad nice and slow. It's okay if you feel your muscles in your leg rolling. That is totally normal. Once we're at our knee, back up. Pivot your left foot out towards the left, pressing the pin into your leg and gently rolling to the medial side of your knee. We're going nice and slow. So we're going from our hip to our knee to stretch the fascia away from our hip, because our fascia adheses to the 4 ball and socket joints, and the most adhesions found will be in our normal movements patterns that we will see. So a hunching of the shoulders, a sitting position that is common in today's society. Drawing our toes straight up, take the pin right on the top of the leg, pressing it towards the kneecap. Toes medial. We're pressing our toes back out towards the left, taking the pin onto the inside one last time. Toes pointing straight up, back to the top of the quad. Go ahead and place the pin down. Switching legs, tuck the left ankle underneath the right knee. We're protecting our knee. Toes medially. Take our pin. Same thing on the right side. Press from the right hip down to the right knee on the lateral side of your leg. Working our way to the top of our leg. Toes out lateral, coming to the inside of our leg. Pressing down into our leg, slowly rolling towards our knee. As you come towards your knee, you may feel that the pressure is too much, and that is because more nerve endings are around our knee than our upper thigh. So just relieve the pressure gently. Toes pointing straight up towards the sky, placing the pin at the top, rolling down towards our knee on the top of our quadricep. Medial. Toes out to the lateral side, rolling down the medial portion of our leg one last time. Hi, Mary. I see a couple others. I just know Mary's profile picture. We're back to the lateral side of our leg. I love you too, Mary. Placing the pin at the top of your thigh, rolling straight down towards your kneecap. And then releasing. Placing the pin to the side, we're going to grab our big foam roller. We're going to place it laterally, pressing your knee out. Plant your hand behind you, tuck your left foot, pressing up. Flex your right foot so that your knee is protected, and slowly roll up to your hamstring. Wow. Up to your hip. I know my body parts, guys. And back down towards our knee. Keeping our core engaged, protecting our low back. Our hands are planted firmly on the ground. All four corners of the palm, all 5 fingers. I think you all can see what I'm doing. Yeah, just make sure your right foot's flexed. And gently lowering onto your hip. Hey, puppy. Hello. Planting your roller underneath your hamstring. Place your left foot on the ground, flexing your right foot. Press up, roll forward. My right foot is dragging on the ground. Y'all can't see that, but it is. Warming up the back of our legs. Play with pivoting your toes in and out as you do this. You might be a little bit more sore on the inside hamstrings than you are on your outer hamstrings, or vice versa. Making sure our fingers are pointed towards our feet. Releasing back onto our hip. Okay, we're going to take our lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, place it underneath the hamstring, cross the other leg on top, and lean forward. You may not feel this. That's okay. You may not even want to cross your leg. If you need more pressure, cross your leg. Leaning forward with a nice flat back, hinging from our hips. Letting the ball press into the hamstring in a static hold. Make sure you breathe still. Releasing the left leg, just for a second. Move the ball about an inch down your leg, crossing your leg again if you need to. Flex your right toes, hinging forward at the hips. Ideally, we want our ankles directly over where the ball is. I have no idea what you just said, Mary. I just can see, oh my goodness. Which, yes, this is an oh my goodness stretch. Yep. Go ahead and release your foot, moving the ball about an inch down your hamstring, keeping your toes flexed, gentle bend in your knee. Draw the left foot back over. My ball is pretty close to my knee already because I have really short legs. My ankle is really close to my knee. Now I don't want to hinge forward all the way because there's so many nerve endings directly around our knee, as well as our ankles super close to our knee too. So we're just going to plant our hands beside our knee and gently press our chest towards our shin. Making sure we're breathing, making sure our toes are flexed. I'm going to try to keep this an hour long. It might take a little bit longer. Releasing. Now, if you have not completed your whole entire hamstring, go ahead and move the ball down again. I think that might be your last one. I'm not sure with how long people's legs are. I'm going to go up high and do mine again as you guys complete yours. Hinging forward at the hips, keeping a nice flat back, core engaged, toes flexed. Releasing that last point. Go ahead and bring your knee to your chest a couple times, get the blood back flowing, and release your legs down. Inhale, arms up overhead. Oh, we've removed our ball too. Exhale, forward fold. Take some time here to notice how your right hamstring feels different from your left, or if it doesn't feel different. It should though. Rolling back up, taking our foam roller, laying it horizontal towards us, rolling to the outside of our left foot, planting the left hand flat on the ground, right foot flat on the ground, lifting up, placing the roller underneath our IT band. You might have to press your right hand down. You're going to roll towards your hip. Keeping our left toes flexed, core engaged to stabilize our back. We don't want to go fast here. We want to go nice and slow to allow the muscle time to relax and release all of its adhesions, all the stored trauma that we have in our hips. Releasing onto the left glutes. And I have moved. I'm moving back. We are going to keep the roller underneath our leg, flexing our left toes, plant the hands back behind us, fingertips facing forward, right toes on the ground. Press up with the hips, keep the core engaged, protect our back, and roll our hamstrings forward and back. Playing with the internal and external rotation in our toes. Maybe a couple times with our toes pointing towards the outside. A couple times with our toes pointing straight to the ceiling. I don't know about you guys, but my left leg is so much tighter than my right. And then turning our toes medially or towards the right, rolling a couple times. And releasing down onto our glutes. Remove the roller from underneath your leg. Dust off your hands from the cat hair. Taking our lacrosse ball, placing it under the top of the hamstring, extending out our leg. This might be enough for you. For me, that is. If not, taking your right foot above where the lacrosse ball is, so up into your hip crease, if that's available. Roll on to the ball just a little bit more if you've rolled off like I have. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, gently lean forward, pressing our chest to our toes. For me, that's right here today. Make sure we continue to breathe. If you're feeling tingling in your toes, check your knee, make sure it's not hyperextended. If it's not and you still feel tingling in your toes, it might just be because you're on an adhesion. Rocking onto our right side, releasing our right foot, moving our lacrosse ball about an inch or two down, sending out the left leg again. Drawing our right foot on top of where that ball is. Mine's about mid-quad now. I have very short legs. Flex the left toes. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, hinging forward. Drawing our chest back to our toes. Forward to our toes. Forward to our toes. Continuing to breathe here, holding for a little bit longer. Rocking onto our right hip, releasing our right leg, moving our lacrosse ball down a couple inches. Flexing our left toes, making sure our knee is not hyperextended, drawing our right foot up top of where that ball is to add pressure down. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Walking our hands back, releasing our right foot, taking the ball down our leg a couple inches more. I have room for this one and one more. Drawing our foot onto the left thigh, hinging forward. As we get closer to our knee, remember to not add so much pressure. Don't lean forward as far. Sitting back up, releasing our leg. One last time in our hamstrings, placing the ball closer to the knee, drawing the right ankle over the ball. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, hinging forward, drawing our chest towards our shin. Continuing to breathe here. Sitting back up, release the right leg down to the ground. Shake out the legs, remove the ball. Finding your sits bones. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. See if you've gotten farther this time than when we first started. And releasing back up. We're going to take our roller. We're going to place it right behind us, close to our hips, drawing our knees high. We're going to lower onto our forearms, pressing the hips up off the ground so that all of our pressure is down onto the roller, and we're going to gently roll up our spine. You might need to get your hair out of the way, ladies. Rolling from our hip all the way up to our shoulder blades. You might have to walk your feet. We're moving nice and slow. Hi, Vanessa. Pressing back towards our hips. You can draw your hands underneath your neck for support. Walking your legs back up. Once you've reached your base of your rib cage, plant your elbows down. You might need to plant your hands. Bringing your hips back up so that the pressure is back onto the roller. We're going to do that a couple more times. Taking onto our forearms, lifting the hips, rolling up the spine, Nice and slow, with control. Keep your core engaged to stabilize your back. Draw your shoulder blades down to protect your neck. And yes, Vanessa, I'm saving the live video stream, and then I also have my other device recording it for YouTube. Drawing our elbows back down to the ground, planting our feet. A couple more times here, rolling up our back. You might have your hands behind your neck, keeping your core engaged. It's okay if you hear a little bit of cracking in your rib cage and your spine. Just your body realigning to where it needs to be. Once you get to the base of your rib cage, tuck your chin, plant your forearms down, walk your feet close to your hips, walking up onto your hands, pressing into your lower back. One more time, down onto the forearms, or holding onto the neck, keeping the core engaged, slowly walking up our spine. And once you get to the top of your shoulders, rolling back down to the base of your rib cage. Once you're there, hold. Plant your arms down onto the ground. Walk your heels up close. Plant your hands, rolling onto your low back. Fighting our sits bones and extending out our legs. We are going to take our roller half on our spine. So if our spine is right here in the center, we are going to place the roller on the right side. Placing the roller next to our right glute, planting the hands, stepping up with the feet. I'm really close to my couch. Hold on. Let me scoot forward. We are going to lower onto our forearms. Press our hips high. Now one side is supported and one side's not, so make sure you keep your core engaged to protect your spine. Making sure we're planted all four corners of the foot on the left side. Slowly raise your right leg. And lower. We're using our core to relieve pressure on our QLs, your quadratus lumborum, or your low back muscles. If you need to stack pillows underneath your top of your body, your upper body, go ahead and do so. Let's lift and lower our leg 3 more times. Planting our right foot, pressing our hips low, press up with your arms. Sending out our legs, move the roller out of the way. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward, forward. Making sure we're deep breathing into our low back. It's not magic, Mary. I promise. Slowly extending our body back up to a seated position. Rocking side to side. How does your QLs feel? Pretty good? Take your roller, same thing on the left side. Half of your body, if your spine's right here. Do not place the corner on your spine. We don't want to compromise our spine. Placing it right behind our left glute. So you can see me. I'm placing it right here. My spine is right here. My sacrum is right here. I'm placing it on the left side of my sacrum. Okay? Bending both knees, planting both hands. Engage your core, lift your hips, lowering down onto your forearms. Keep your core engaged. Remember, one side of your spine is supported, one side is not. We need to keep our core engaged to keep the stability. Now the roller is going to be about the size of your QL, so you don't have to roll forward or back. Once you find your core engagement, go ahead and lift your left knee up towards your chest and lower it back down. I'm keeping my foot flexed to protect my knee. Making sure our core is engaged. Very, very important here. Three more times. Placing the left foot back down. Plant the hands. Press up. Lower your hips down. Extend your legs, removing the roller from the back. Finding your sits bones. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. You might be a lot lower than you have before. Just remember to breathe. Slowly rolling up, sitting up nice and tall. We are going to work on our foundation. So if our foundation is really, really tight, then it messes with everything else. So our foundation is what touches the ground. We're going to be working on our lower limbs from our knees down to our toes. Okay? We are going to start with our rolling pin. You can use your roller if you need to. I just find that a rolling pin is a little bit easier to manipulate. We're going to put our left foot on the ground, knee out to the side, placing your right foot underneath the left knee to protect it. We're going to take our roller pin, taking it right inside that bony landmark of our calf. So take your left hand, feel around on your knee. You should feel this big, large lump right here. That's your head of your femur, or your fibula. I think it, oh wow. This is your tibia. Not your fibula. Fibula's upper leg. Wow. Sorry guys. Adding pressure, not too much. Rolling down to our ankle. We are rolling down our calf because we are always lifting our heel, if you think about it. When we walk, our heel lifts. When we run, our heel lifts. How many times do you stretch your heel down, though? Not very much. We're going to work in towards the medial distal part of our leg, working towards the back. We're going nice and slow. Making sure we lift up our tool each time we get to our ankle. Now, if you're running into your opposite leg, take your opposite leg out, draw your knee in just slightly more. We're going to take our tool vertical and roll down, kind of in this little rainbow formation. We're going to place the tool on the ground. As you can see, we'll place the tool on the ground, drawing my leg around it, pressing forward into my leg and then down towards my ankle while I'm holding the point, the axial point with my right hand. Drawing our foot up, plant the foot down onto the ground. Take your roller pin in between your thigh and your calf. My calves are really big, so I can't really bring my leg in too tight. I have to bring it out. We're going to keep our foot planted on the ground. I have to put my right foot on top of my left to make sure it stays still. Press into your foot and roll down. And it looks like Instagram is going to kick me off here soon, which is okay. Continue to roll down your calf towards your ankle. Once this is over, just repeat the same thing on your right side. And release. Now your calf has been worked. I wouldn't go more deep into our calves than this because we do have so many nerve endings, it could get really, really painful. So I like to take a golf ball and seated, place it underneath the foot. So just so that you can see, I'm placing it right here in my foot and rolling up towards each toe. Okay, you can do this sitting down so you can see, planting your pressing your hand into your foot, rolling the ball nice and slow up your foot. If you find a point that needs a little bit more pressure, go ahead and press in with the golf ball, or you can take your little tool or your spoon and press in. And my live video just ended, and that is all we have. Thank you. If you were just with me on Instagram Live, I am going to finish up our foot. So taking a little bit of lotion or oil, if this will work, there we go. Placing it on the bottom of our foot. And then where we can see our foot, take our spoon with the bottom side towards us, little spoon side away from us. We're going to start at our heel, press gently into the spoon, into our foot, and scrape up our foot towards our toe. Okay, stopping at the knuckle. Press a little bit more meatily, pressing towards our toe on the arch of our foot. Taking it to our second toe, pressing from our heel to the knuckle of our foot. This is probably really, really sore. Hello, that's my cat, guys. This is Mrs. Potts. Stop looking at me. She is my yoga helper. She has been doing yoga with me every day since this quarantine started. Taking it to our third toe. If it feels like you're rolling over pebbles or gravel, that's normal, that's your fascia. There's just a lot of adhesions in your foot. Taking it to our fourth or fifth toe, depending on how big your spoon is, depends on how far you can go. And you don't want to do this too much. You don't want to make yourself too sore. So I did it once, 3 times to each toe, 1 time through that set. And then go ahead and take your fingers and just make little rainbows or little trees from your heel to the ball, and pull on your toes. Heel to ball, then pull your toes. Go ahead and flex your foot, wiggle it around. Make sure you do this on your right side. And yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope you feel so much better. This really targeted our low back, our hips, down into our foundation of our legs. Thank you.